Right then guys, something slightly different today. So we have done earlier in the week a little Instagram Q&A session. So I am going to go through some of the questions I've been asked on Instagram and Facebook in the stories, hopefully answer them as best I can, and hopefully this is a vaguely interesting video. Sorry we've been a bit short on content lately with the old lockdown, things aren't the easiest. So it's Friday today. I've actually taken the car to work because that's the only real legitimate way I can get out in the car and actually enjoy it. So I've just pulled over on the way home from site. I'm going to answer a few questions. Let's see how this goes. What made you stick with a non-BAM 1.8T? Basically, they're no different. A BAM is nothing special, it's a bit of an internet myth. Once you strip it down, there is nothing different inside it at all, really. Seeing as nothing in this engine is standard, then it's certainly no different to starting with any other base engine. Mark IV Honey Badger. What was your favourite set of drive shafts? Favourite set of drive shafts were the ones I fitted in September 2013 when I first went O2M. I think I actually went a full 4 years without any drive shaft issues on them before we upped the power and then we started killing things a little bit again. So yeah, 2013, fitted at Clive's unit in Bracknell. That was my favourite set. Is my engine a stroker? And I've also been asked, if you did it again, would you go 1.9 again or would you go for a stroker, and which route? It's not a stroker, it's 1900. At the time we built it, we were going to use a hybrid turbo, which didn't really need any more low down torque, so we went with the 1900 thinking it would be more revvy. In hindsight, I wish I'd gone stroker. I've got the dreaded Wasner pistons, which are just a time bomb waiting to let go and cause me aggro. And yeah, I'd go stroker, more torque, more earlier. Stroker, more torque, more early on. I just think generally it would be a bit better with a stroker these days. It would certainly help me make the most within the regs as well. So our favourite Nick Goff at Team More Win has asked, why is orange faster? And it definitely is. I guess it's as the old mobile phone advert said, the future's bright, the future's orange. You know when you've been tangoed, and many other really tacky slogans. I just really like orange. 100 to 200 time? Pretty slow, I imagine. So the car's only 350, 360 horsepower now, so it's probably in the 8 somethings. Back when the car was mid 500 brake, I think it was in the 6s. But yeah, it's not all about power anymore. It's about going racing and meeting class regs, so probably fairly slow 100 to 200, I'm afraid. Oh, this is a good one. Would you rather fight 10 Nick Goff-sized ducks or 100 duck-sized Nick Goffs? I would take the 100 duck-sized Nick Goffs. Nick Goff is a lovely person, and therefore I think I'd have a decent chance in a fight if he were little and duck-sized. And a Nick Goff-sized duck at 6 foot tall scares the life out of me. So yeah, I would take the 100 duck-sized Nick Goffs. Right, what else have we got? Is racing more expensive than you thought it would be, from Kev G? Short answer, yeah. I knew it wouldn't be cheap. Track days aren't cheap. But yeah, it's been fairly costly. I don't think it has to be. I think if you were racing an MX-5 or something, then it's really quite reasonable. But to race something like this in the class that we're in, and to try and be at the front, involves keeping on top of it. It involves a fairly fresh set of tyres. Yeah, it's quite a bit more than I thought it would be. But we seem to be managing just. Aha, Matt Creed, Creed Racing. Do you like Clios? Yes, I really like a Clio, but not as much as I secretly love a Honda. Don't tell anyone. Would you be up for more YouTube collaborations? Absolutely. No idea who in particular. Definitely want to do something this year with Decimal Tent and Speeding Tube. Wouldn't mind going back on Officially Gassed after such a good reception earlier last year. And if anyone else out there wants to get in touch, wants to do any collaborations on YouTube, similar sort of stuff, let me know. Definitely be up for it. I like this one. CS Ray. When are you getting a real car? You know, like an MK Indy. I can confidently say that's going to be in about 10 years' time when I want to build one with Oliver. He will not make the same mistakes I have made with the wrong wheel drive. He'll be going straight into rear wheel drive in something kit-based, which can maybe be turboed down the line. Right, a couple of people have asked me this one. When are you coming back to the Nürburgring? Honestly, guys, I don't know. So I had a bit of a decision to make at the start of last year. It was either go racing in the UK or spend that money on track days at the Nürburgring. Racing has been an itch I needed to scratch for several years, so I went with the racing. I'm going to be honest, the budget just isn't there to come over to the ring and do track days there as well as racing in the UK. Maybe in a few years' time I'll be back. I certainly think the car would be well suited to it now. So yeah, never say never. Hopefully in the future I will be back at the ring. I like this one. Please explain how I can make my car go. So what you need to do is take off the vac line to your dump valve, which will then cause compressor stall, and it will then go all the way to Badger 5, who will gladly supply you a new turbo for your broken one. We've got a chap here, want to build my own track car with a 1.8T, any advice? Yeah, not to try and plug too much, but I would read my build thread on Audi Sport. I would read Steve Booth's build thread on UK Mark IVs. There's quite a few kind of Mark IV based track cars around now. Don't make the mistakes we did. Don't tread down every different path to get to the final outcome. Work out what you want to do from the start. Go direct to the end game. 6, 7 different turbos, 10 different brake setups. It's an expensive way of doing it. The info is now out there. Find what you want to achieve. Go straight for your end game. Best way to it. Has Paul Hand filed a restraining order yet? Hopefully not, because I really like Paul and he has been a fantastic source of information for me over the last couple of years. Hopefully I can give him some useful info back, but yeah, please don't, even though I do keep mentioning my Paul Hand moment. Love you, Paul. What's your favourite mod on the A3 from Peter Garland? Oh, this one's difficult. Genuinely don't know. From a visual point of view, it's got to be the wide arch and the aero stuff. Love that. The brakes have always been hugely high on my list. I just love the AP fronts. Something I've always missed that's really done it for me is the gearbox whine. From my Mini days when I was a kid, having a straight cut box in the Mini, getting the monster gear set in this from Gas and Gears, getting that whine back really kind of completes the whole feel of the race car to me. So yeah, they're probably up there with my top three favourites. Right, so Luke Walder asks, what's for lunch? Ham and salad. Got a race season to get in shape for. I might have let things slip a bit over winter. What's planned next for the car? Short answer, lots. Got quite a few changes in store for the 2021 season. So we're having a bit of a brake reshuffle, some new rear calipers. I'm going to be refitting ABS and adding a bias system into that using a twin port bias valve to maintain the ABS. We're going to be making some aero tweaks. There's definitely a large untapped resource there within the regs that I can improve on, underbody aero and some stuff going on at the rear end. We're hoping to go spherical bearings on the wishbones and the rear axle if we can get that sorted in time, and one or two other bits. So you're going to have to wait and see. Some quite exciting stuff coming up once we are out of lockdown. Can you grab some more chocolate and spread on your way home? Yeah, of course I can. I'll be there in 20 minutes. How did you meet the guys who help you at races? I really don't know entirely for everyone. So Robin was my best friend in primary school's little brother, who I lost touch with and somehow met up with again 10 years later, and turned out to be an absolute genius and a really good mate. Mowgli, that is Luke Walder, went to uni with, and we rode bikes together. And Rainbird has just kind of always floated around the same circles as me since we were early teens, and it's just a bit of a general legend really. So yeah, it's just been part of my life for 20-25 years plus. Tom at Speeding Tube, I'm definitely being tested here. Drag race, Team Prawn A3 versus a decimal tenths Lupo. Come on Tom, we know I don't do drag racing. However, A3 versus Lupo around a track, I would be well up for. Definitely keen to do some collabs with a decimal tenths. And Speeding Tube if he ever gets the bus finished. Pit Lane Jamie, are you going to be watching the Dubai 24 hour? I'm going to be honest mate, I'm not. It's been a long week and I need a bit of sleep, and I also don't have the attention span for a 24-hour race, unless I was driving, in which case I think I'd probably be well up for it. Oh, this is quite a good one. This is from Andy Lang, Shandy the Great. How do you pull yourself back up after so many issues? Asking for a friend. Oh mate. I don't know really. Basically, failure's never an option. If I ever were to change direction and go with a different car, it wouldn't be after some sort of major failure. I would get the car in a good place and then move it on for someone else to enjoy. Yeah, there's never an option to fail. If something goes wrong, you come back, you rebuild it, you come back stronger. Yeah, it's just not an option in my book. Right, well, I think that is probably enough from me. I'm sorry if I haven't answered every single question. We actually got loads of questions. Really good response. Thank you very much for that, guys. I hope that's been interesting. I hope it gives you some sort of insight into what we're going to be doing in 2021, where we're going with the car. Really interested to hear any feedback, see if anyone's got any other ideas for what we should be up to. And otherwise, I hope you guys are keeping safe, and I hope to see you soon. Take care, guys. See you in the next one. So what you need to do is take off the vac line to your dump valve, which will then cause compressor stall, and it will then go